Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. After a fifth straight win for the Sharks. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Teal Town, USA After Dark. Don't forget, as usual, to find us on the social media, wherever she may hide herself, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. We're on it all. Make sure to go check them all out and subscribe to all of them. You must. Go do it now, in fact. So, I'm AJ Strong here with Ian Reed. So, Ian, initial vibes from the game, my brother.
There was parts of the game where I definitely thought I wasn't going to make it to the show. I thought I'd just, face down on the keyboard a little bit, catch some Z's. But, Sharks picked it up near the end, and here we are after fifth straight win now. Jeez.
Yeah. God, remember when the sky was falling about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I was one of the people trying to hold it up. Let's get into it. It didn't start well. Raquel, just over a minute in, and this one had all the feelings of, okay, Sharks have won their last four. Anaheim's lost their last four. All the makings of a trap game, a quick roadie down to SoCal. And then a minute, 9 in, Raquel pots one, and you're going, oh, here we go. All off a Shimmick turnover, but if you look at it, it looked like it actually went off the ref. So little help there. But Raquel would start it off, and at that point, Ian, you're just like, oh, man, I'm about ready to turn this off.
Yeah. I was like, I'm doing the show tonight. They're like, on a winning streak. And I'm like, of course they're going to make me angry. And then people are just be like, you hate this team. You hate them.
I hate them so much. Tomas Hertl would get things going for the Sharks, tying it up at 6:47 on a goal that we weren't sure if it was a goal at first. Took a little bit of review. I'm going to ask you this, Ian. Do you think Eakin should have went for the challenge there? Do you think it was a push-in, or you just say, hey, you know what? It wasn't worth the gamble of giving the Sharks a power play in that situation?
I mean, with the way the calls have gone against the Sharks in that situation, if I'm Dallas Eakins, I absolutely would have made that challenge. But, maybe just didn't watch enough tape before the game. Because, for me, that call's gone against the Sharks every time.
Oh, bajillion times.
Every time. I don't think of a way where it hasn't gone against them. So, the puck went across the line, so that's the first review's over, and the puck was clearly across the line. No, if I'm Dallas Eakins, I probably would have thrown out the challenge, but I'm glad he didn't, because 1-1.
Yeah. Just after that at 8:30, Prout would go at it with Delorier. I'm going to take that all day, every day, twice on Sundays. But taking our worst defenseman for one of your, higher end guys, or at least one of the guys that's over the age of 24 on that team.
It's so hockey though, isn't it? Like, the guy just comes back from a concussion. What's the first thing he does? Go gets punched in the head. It's so hockey.
Well, and it also, it's funny when you factored in that he literally played in San Diego last night.
Yeah.
Had an assist, but was a -2 in an absolute shit show. The worst loss in Barracuda history last night, in case you weren't aware, a 9-3 shellacking after going into the third just down 4-3. So that gives you an idea of how bad it was. But Prout turns around, evidently, based on the broadcasters tonight, either took a Lyft or an Uber. We cannot confirm either way. But yeah, Prout makes his presence known there, I suppose. What are you going to do? So we move on to the second period. Silfverberg would give Anaheim a lead. And now what are you thinking, Ian?
Damn it.
You're going to screw me again, aren't you?
Yeah. It's like, again, it's kind of like what you said earlier. This had all the makings of a trap game. And there was a spot in the middle there where the Sharks just had nothing going their way, period. I think Shalana said it best. They had negative zone time.
Oh, I hate when that happens. But Tomas Hertl to the rescue again at 18:28 with an absolute snipe, bar down from the slot, and you just go, oh, we are not getting enough of these goals.
No, I mean that's the thing. Like with this game, last couple of games, you're seeing just things that for the first part of the season, just nothing was going in for the Sharks, and it's nice to see, the law of averages kind of taking effect here.
Yeah, no kidding. So to start the third, wouldn't be a Sharks game if things weren't tight and DeBoer didn't activate the line blender.
Yeah,
which would lead to, at the 8-minute mark, Brent Burns, again, another one, a snipe of a wrist shot. This one coming on the power play. And at that point, the Sharks finally take a lead. You breathe a little.
See, and that's the thing with Burns. Like, I know Burns likes to just like crush it from the circles or from the point, but like he's got a pretty good wrist shot that I wish he would use a little more often, because they don't have to all be like 100-mile-an-hour rockets from the point.
Oh, absolutely. The fact that he looked a little forward-esque, if we can say that, but yeah, use that talent a little more often. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Then a minute and a half later, Evander Kane would get a shorty, and man, the saucer pass from Couture, that was sweet to put it on, because it was on Kane's backhand, so he can't get too finesse with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it looked like Kane just got enough of it too, because that puck was bouncing a little bit, and it looked like, Kane doesn't get what little he did on that, it's going to bounce right over his stick. So good. I mean, probably luck had a lot to do with it too, but I'll give my hat off to him.
Yeah. Well, and there was some talk from the broadcasters tonight about the ice might not be in the best conditions, but
right.
We move on. About 6 minutes after that, we saw a little Jones on Jones violence. Max Jones off of Martin Jones, and what's throwing me off with this one? I missed my notes on this, but there was something odd about this goal. What am I missing?
I think it
went off Shimmick. That's what it was. So a little odd. What are you going to do? Those are the breaks. That's the whole thing. Is the Ducks had 3 goals tonight, and 2 of them were just flukes involving Shimmick.
Yeah, Shimmick didn't have a great night tonight. It was funny because at first, like, I think I just laughed like out loud when the puck went through, because I just kind of looked up and I saw the puck go through his 5-hole. I'm like, Jones. And then I saw the replay and I was like, okay, maybe I'm being a little harsh here, but yeah, like the initial play, just like, well, that's so Jones, isn't it?
Yeah, and so now it's a 4-3 game, and you're going, oh crap. Still plenty of time. You knew they were going to pull Gibson, and you're a little buckled at that point. They ping one off the post. You could hear that one all the way up here. And finally, Logan Couture says, okay, I've had enough of this. Blocks a great shot. Well, I mean, the shot wasn't great, but he picks off the puck, takes it down, buries the empty netter, basically making it one of those rare Sharks games where the Sharks were able to score 4 of 5 ways. So
yeah.
You got, lazy bastards couldn't have put a penalty shot together tonight. Come on. So, of course, the bad news now coming. First off, we can put to bed Brody Brazil's 2 or fewer thing, because the Sharks have won a game, allowing more than 2 goals.
Hey, there we go.
But, of course, the really bad news is Hertl did go down tonight. I think it was right after the Burns goal.
Yeah.
Looked like his right knee maybe buckled in to the left a little bit. It's you don't want to see a knee go that way. We know the history that Tomas Hertl has had with his legs, so obviously I can't imagine we're going to hear much tonight. I'm sure if you follow the usual suspects on Twitter, the beat guys that are in the dressing room, it's probably going to be very little, if any.
Yeah, apparently Couture said he was fine, but I don't remember Couture's PhD, so I'll wait and see what comes out of it tomorrow.
Hertl, we just want to be safe and everything, and then tomorrow morning. So Hertl's MRI is scheduled for,
It sucks because it was really a nothing play. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, you don't want to see Hertl get hurt, obviously, but you can't even really be mad about it because, a lot of people are like, oh, look how Stam Steele hit him. But really, I watched the way I saw the play, I watched Hertl glide into Sam Steele, and they just kind of got tangled a little funny. Not really anything Sam Steele did wrong there. Like it's just it's like one of those things where you hate to see a guy get hurt on such a not that if we could all hate Sam Steele, it'd make us feel any better. If Hertl's gone for any period of time, the Sharks are in trouble, I think, because those forward lines, I mean, they're doing well right now and they're winning games, but I mean, they can't afford an injury to Hertl.
No, none whatsoever. But hopefully he's okay. This wasn't a Dustin Brown level hit, okay?
Right.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it's a nothing play. There's not really much you can do other than kind of just throw your hands up and hope for the best for Hertl.
Yeah. On the numbers, Sharks outshoot him 35-32. Faceoffs almost dead even, 51-49 in favor of the Ducks. Special teams, about even. Sharks 1 for 3, Ducks 1 for 4. The Ducks, from what I understand, like that had been, they might have been the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim since the last time they'd scored on the power play. So they were kind of overdue. And if there's a team that's going to ruin the Sharks' perfect PK, of course it's going to be Anaheim. Hits dead even at 18 apiece. Clearly they don't have the Vegas hit counter working Anaheim games.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm just pointing that out there. And then ice time, nothing that really stands out. I mean, the stuff that you would assume was going to happen. Radil at just over 8, Gambrell just over 8. And this kind of a game when the Sharks are behind for most of the game, you assume that's going to be the way that the numbers shake out.
Right, and nothing was going. I mean, like for the large part of that second period, nothing was happening for the Sharks, period. So line blender is obviously going to get into overdrive, and here we are.
Yeah. The one thing that stands out for me, though, tell me if I'm wrong. Unfortunately, I don't have the numbers from the Edmonton game in front of me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Tim Heed played more than 9.5 minutes versus Edmonton. So Dalton Prout tonight getting 9.5. Granted, yeah, he spent 5 minimum in the box. I thought,
sure.
He did pick up another 2. So we spent 7 minutes of the game in the box, but that's not what I'm looking for from the 5'6" defenseman. You know what I mean?
No, but that was, I mean, this is what happens. I know it's dumb.
Why is Dalton Prout here?
I don't know, because I hope because it's Mario Ferraro still hurt. I'm not a Prout guy.
No.
This is just the stupid things that the Sharks do. Oh, Anaheim's a heavy team. Gotta put in our tough guys. Like, whatever. They're not the whatever year it was when we faced them in the playoffs. Like that, they're not that Ducks team anymore. Like they have some guys that are definitely agitating, but I don't think they're big, like they've got a couple of big guys, but they're not but they're more of a pesky team now. Like they've got a lot of guys that can draw you into doing stupid things, like a Max Jones and a Nick Ritchie. Like those guys are a pain in the butt to play against.
Yeah, but we don't.
But they're not.
Corey Perry's not on this team anymore.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, Shark's gonna shark. I don't know. What are you gonna say? Like we knew this was gonna happen. Anytime they play a team like Vegas or Anaheim or whatever, they're gonna put plugs in the lineup that don't really need to be there. I would say the same for Lukas Radil at this point too. Like I don't know what Lukas Radil brings to the table that was so important he had to be in this game.
I wonder if that was just a case of it was like, well, Gregor's had a little bit of a good run. That's nice. Let's see if we got something else going on. Let's see if Radil feels good today. Who knows? Radil did not feel good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like.
And he had the least amount of ice time tonight to show for it.
The last time I ranted about like ice time and players after a win, I got in trouble by people. People yelled at me. I don't want to get yelled at.
All right. Well, the Sharks don't play Anaheim until after the All-Star break. So we'll see you then, Dalton.
Yeah.
Good on you. So I think that's pretty much covers it. Nothing too out of the ordinary. There was a few players that you kind of look at and go, I've seen them play better. Erik Karlsson, after as good as
He
he
was an
was,
adventure in his own zone. I mean, the stat sheet's favorable, but he was definitely adventure in his own zone tonight.
yeah, far cry from what we saw versus Edmonton. And that's been my thing is when you're the highest paid defenseman in the league, you want to see Edmonton Erik Karlsson much more than Anaheim Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I didn't think he had a bad game. I just thought he was a little more of an adventure in his own zone that I'd like to see. But I mean, um, I thought he played a good game. Someone who's really come on lately that I don't think has got enough credit is Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Marc-Edouard Vlasic's been a completely different player. I mean, Vlasic was a guy that I had been pretty much hammering on the daily in the first half of the season, and I haven't really been on after this current win streak very much. So I want to say, Vlasic's been a guy who's really turned his game around. And I think part of that is probably being paired with Karlsson because it's a decent pair. The only thing I don't like about this pairing, and you kind of saw it on, I think it was maybe the second goal, was there's a whole lot of attempt to stick checks, but not a whole lot of body.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only, if I had a gripe with that pairing, I think that would be my big gripe is that these guys are too happy to stick check. And sometimes when you need a guy to just get moved out of the front of the net, just doesn't happen with that pairing.
Now, to be fair, Erik Karlsson was the only player that was a +3 tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, he did have the best plus minus, but he
again,
doesn't.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't like again. He had a good game.
Yeah, doesn't negate the fact that for a brief, a little bit of this game, as you said, he was an adventure.
Oh yeah, there's definitely adventure time.
From Curtis Pashelka, thank you, Laurel. We're told that Tomas Hertl is unavailable to talk post game because he's getting treatment. So
that's all right.
We'll see what that means. You know who I thought had a really solid game tonight? Goody. Goody has just, since they've given him that promotion to the second line and have increased his minutes a bit, he's really showing up.
Yeah. I mean, I've been really impressed with Barclay Goodrow all season. I thought that for a long stretch, like other than Evander Kane, who was the best player on the ice many nights, it was Barclay Goodrow. And that, look at, I understand Barclay Goodrow's limitations as a player, but I think, I really liked watching his play.
Yeah. Well, dude, ever since that Game 7 winner, dude, BDE all up in this. Just saying. And then, of course, Hertl, 2 goals. Logan with the goal and assist tonight. He had called himself out a few games back saying he needs to do better, and clearly he has. I thought Couture played a solid game, and, he's going to draw the best matchup.
Absolutely.
So Martin Jones above 900 tonight at a 906, so there's that.
I mean, you got to climb back, right?
Yeah.
Martin Jones has shown in the past that he can string together some games. You just want to hope that stringing together of good games lasts longer than the not so good games, because you're going to get both with Martin Jones. But for all the kicking that Martin Jones has taken it, and for a lot of it justifiably so, this last couple of games he's been on. And it's nice to see, it's nice to know that you can get your money's worth out of your $5+ million goaltender.
I know. Now with that, Dell, last time he started was the second against Vancouver. We know Detroit, not a great team, although they did beat Anaheim 2 nights ago. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So, you think we see Dell on Saturday against a meh Detroit team?
Possible. Honestly, I would just keep riding Jones unless it's a back-to-back. Keep riding Jones. I'd keep riding Jones at this point.
See, and that's the problem. There are no back-to-backs until the end of the month.
Well, then play Jones until he sucks. Jones is on. I don't but really though, I mean, the last few games Jones has been on. So why not play him? Keep him playing, keep him touching the puck. We've watched Martin Jones play, a ton of games before. It's not like he's not capable of it. Oh. In my opinion, I would just keep playing him until he gives you a reason to stop playing him, because right now you're getting the best hockey you've gotten out of Martin Jones all season.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing from the comments. Thank you, Steve. Detroit on a 3-game win streak right now. And evidently, Detroit beat Boston, so you can't take these guys lightly. So, yeah, maybe do ride Jones until the end of the month when you play back-to-backs hosting LA and then at Arizona. So I'm guessing Dell will probably start the LA game.
Probably. Yeah, no, I just think if you're getting the best hockey you've gotten out of Jones so far, keep him hot, keep him playing, keep him touching the puck.
Yeah. So for those of you unaware, if you're local, if it can make it to the game this Saturday against Detroit, you might want to, because everybody is freaking out about the Sharks freak jersey. So I'll be there. Puck Guy will be there. Well, hell, Puck Guy was in Anaheim tonight, so he's all up in this piece right now. That's a lot of hockey Puck Guy is looking at. Let's see. Any other final notes that I have? Okay, so we've talked about this stuff. Yeah, we covered everything. So let's get into just a couple odds and ends.
Sure.
For you football fans, evidently a Cleveland Browns player tonight used his helmet as a weapon and tried to decapitate one of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you might want to follow that. Look for that on Twitter. That guy will probably be suspended for the season. Last night, there was a little bit of I don't want to say a shellacking, but Marc-Andre Fleury last night looked very pedestrian.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And Vegas fans started leaving early. So just want to put that out there. I don't want to hear any more from Vegas fans that we're so great. We're there, from start to finish, blah, blah, blah. There's literally video of mass exodus on a Wednesday night. It's not like it was a Friday or Saturday night where it's like, oh, I got to go hit the nightlife. It's Wednesday night, mass exodus when your team was down. So I don't want to hear that. Welcome to the NHL. You're just like every other fan base. Deal with
Absolutely. it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing that always, I think, bothers me the most about like the talk around. Like, all fan bases are like this. Our fan base is stupid. Your fan base is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Guy over there's fan base is stupid. They're all stupid.
Yeah,
They just are.
If it's not the same, if it's not the fan base that you're part of, everyone's stupid.
Everyone's stupid.
Yeah. So real quick, I know that Brody and the boys are off the air, so I want to welcome everybody who is joining us now or who just might be. Remember to hit us up on our social media. We got a lot of it, but hit us up. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. Help us out. Hit that subscribe button right now, and you will be notified because we go live after every single Sharks game, not to mention our weekly wrap-up, The Pucknologist, and some here and there interviews. Speaking of which, I spoke with one Mr. John Totora today. That interview will hopefully be dropping tomorrow, but got into some interesting things about if you're a local Sharks fan and you're really interested on what's happening with regards to Google and BART and Diridon and all the things that are going to be happening and the changes around SAP Center in regards to downtown San Jose, you're going to want to check out that interview. And like I said, should drop tomorrow at some time. Hopefully have a little lunchtime listening pleasure for you if everything works out right.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm sorry, I don't have the video and the whole animation piece, so I'm just going to have to do it for you live. Have the goddamn common courtesy to give them a reach around. So with that, we'll drop into the NHL as a whole. Again, I like to blast through this. I know Puck Guy likes to spend half the show on this. I don't. Todd Bertuzzi would score twice, yet it wouldn't be enough as the LA Kings were victorious in overtime. The Hurricanes, god damn, we got some overtime games going today. Hurricanes win in overtime over the Sabres in Buffalo. And as I'm looking here, nothing out of the ordinary in that game, so we move on. The Lightning absolutely. Wait a minute. Are the Lightning the San Diego Gulls and the Rangers of the CUDA? Because it's the same score. Tampa 9, Rangers 3. It would probably be easier for me to give you the list of Lightning players that did not score in this game. Not going to, but that's how it rolls there. The Panthers lost in Florida to Winnipeg 4-3. Again, looking at the list, nobody of note. These are all things you can find on NHL.com, of course. Wild 3-2 over the Yotes. Oh, look at that. The Yotes kind of coming back down to earth. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? I would I would really like that too, be honest with you. Dubnyk finally coming back after Stalock's. Well, okay, we won't go there. Jesus Christ, in Edmonton tonight. A 6-2 victory over the Avalanche. Now, I think it needs to be said, Burakovsky scored both the goals for the Avalanche, but who is Colorado missing? Some key pieces, man.
Colorado is playing their third and fourth string goalies right now. Both their starter and backup are out. I know Antoine Bibeau came in, former Barracuda. Antoine Bibeau came in relief. He's the fourth guy on their depth chart. Which was kind of funny because today there was like, oh, the Barracuda should have kept Antoine Bibeau. It's like he's the fourth guy on their depth chart in Colorado, like fourth.
Yeah, it's not looking good. They're missing some key pieces. So
yeah,
but the Oilers, way to take advantage of that. McDavid and Draisaitl with all the points.
Yes.
I mean, dear Lord, and not to be forgotten, RNH. I mean, it's RNH, McDavid, Cassian, McDavid, RNH, and then like Draisaitl assisted on everything. So
on everything, right?
The Stars 4-2 over the Canucks. Another one that was kind of an interesting game. Stars Canucks. I bet you that's. I'm gonna have to go and look at that because I bet you that was a great matchup. However, lazy bastard that he is, Joe Pavelski did not score in this one.
Oh. Where's the leadership?
Yes, exactly. So that's the way the NHL shakes out tonight. Again, Saturday, it's Detroit. After that, a quick rematch with Edmonton. That should be fun. By the way, for those of you who were not aware, Drew Remendo was in the house last Tuesday for the Edmonton game, but unfortunately will not be in the house this Tuesday. But let's call the big one out. At Vegas in 3 games. It's Detroit, Edmonton, at Vegas, then the New York Islanders. You thought that stretch versus like Nashville and Edmonton was a tough one. That's after Detroit.
A lot of fun stretch of games.
Yeah, between now and Thanksgiving, boy, it's gonna be a fun few games. And if we see the Sharks that we saw versus Edmonton and Nashville, and not the ones that we saw versus, say, I don't know, Minnesota. I think we could have a good shot at this. So I think with that, any questions from the room? I will put that out.
We did have Skylar brought up something in the chat earlier that he wanted us to address, just how crazy how the second place Arizona Coyotes and the seventh place Sharks are only separated by 5 points.
Dear Lord. Well, okay.
Does that make the Pacific Division good or nah? I think
everybody goes back and forth with that.
I think it's got its teams. Like I think that it's hard to say because like there's some teams where I'm not convinced are for real because they haven't been for real before, and then some of your teams that you'd expect to be good aren't good. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of parity in this league, right? I don't think the Pacific Division is maybe the hardest division to play in, but I don't think it's completely dog crap either.
Yeah. Question from JF Turner for myself and Ian. Do you think lineup decision of putting in Radil and Prout is more PDB's decision or DW? That's
Peter DeBoer.
Yeah, it's been said bajillions of times. Wilson manages, he's the general manager. He does not tell his coaches how to coach. That said, Doug Wilson is the one that put this lineup together. So if you give PDB a Prout, he gonna play a Prout.
That's it, right? And that's kind of always been, a lot of people are like, oh, well, how could you be mad at Doug Wilson? Because Doug Wilson's built this team and he did good trades and stuff because he has a bad coach and he lets his bad coach do bad things by arming his bad coach with bad players so he could play bad players.
Okay. I don't know if Steve is saying this like sarcastically and making a joke, but I want this on a shirt because I think this is because I mean obviously you meant parity as in PARITY.
Yes,
but this is great. I want this on a shirt. I don't know if he misspelled that on purpose or if that's autocorrect, but I want that on a shirt. Oh man, Bring Hockey Back needs that on a shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, he Doug Wilson is an accomplice to the crimes of the San Jose Sharks.
A scotch.
Yeah.
Just a scotch. But yeah, I mean, if
But
you,
we're winning, so
yeah, who
everything's
cares?
happy.
But if you talk to, let's be honest, go back 2 months from now. Did anybody have Edmonton leading the Pacific? Did anybody have Vancouver in the top 3?
No.
Or Arizona?
I think I said before the season that Vancouver might be a team that gets off to a hot start like they did last year and then falls completely off. We'll see.
Hold on. Laurel helping us out. From Rob Iman, do we see Goodrow slide to the center if Hertl misses games?
Yeah. I don't think Goodrow get eaten alive.
Yeah. I think if anything, honestly, and I know this is scary as crap, I think you might see Marleau in that slot.
Yeah, you'd want to put a center in there that's not going to get completely demolished by NHL competition. Look at Hertl takes a lot of draws against a lot of the best face-off people in the league. Barclay Goodrow's not on the same level as Tomas Hertl when it comes to face-offs. That would just be a complete mismatch for the Sharks. The Sharks would get completely owned in the dot if that became a thing, in my opinion.
Rob Bubble also asking, will Edmonton hit a correction at some point? Well, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, it's hard because like Edmonton has, like they have good players. Like they shouldn't have
been.
They
have McDavid
and
and Draisaitl.
They have McDavid and Draisaitl. They have Nugent Hopkins. I mean, you have James Neal, which I know James Neal hasn't done a lot lately, but I mean they have. It's not like this team's completely void of talent other than McDavid and Draisaitl. Like this team should have been more competitive than it has been to this point. Kudos to Dave Tippett for finally getting it out of them.
Yeah, no kidding. But the thing is Edmonton has streaks. There's 4 against Anaheim, they had 3 against us, but obviously they gave up 6. But and they put up 4 against New Jersey, not the biggest team, but St. Louis 5-2, Arizona got them 3-2. I mean, they've had stretches. I think if anything, I would be freaking the hell out if either McDavid or Draisaitl went down for any length of time. So,
yeah, and Rob's saying like the goaltending, I guess. I mean, yeah, look at I'm not
been much
huge
better than
fan of. They've gotten better goaltending than I thought they would to start the season.
Yeah,
but look, we watched Jordan Binnington come out of nowhere, and goalies. Look at guys like Matt Murray who had a couple of stellar seasons and then fell off. All you need is a good season from your goaltender. And you can get it from the most unlikely of people.
Hello, Steve Mason.
Hello, Steve Mason. Hello, Matt Murray. Like these. I mean, yes. Would I put money on the Edmonton goaltending, staying solid all year? No, I'm not exactly running out to make that bet. But at the same time, we'd be foolish to think that you need to have, a Pekka Rinne or a Henrik Lundqvist in net to have success in this league.
Yeah.
You can get elite play out of non-elite goalies.
Yeah. Gunn, get to the party earlier, would you? We already covered this. But, yeah, he said he missed the game. What happened to Hertl? You want to get into it, Ian?
Yeah. Basically, Hertl kind of just was drifting into the corner a little bit. Sam Steele was coming out of the corner. Hertl kind of bumped into Sam Steele. It was a nothing play. There wasn't anything malicious there. Looked like they just got their legs kind of tangled up a little bit. Hertl's knee buckled. Didn't look good. We don't know what the injury is.
And Curtis Pachelka, you little tease. His headline for his article comes out, Sharks beat Ducks, but did it come at a price? Stop it. Stop your clickbaity headlines. Oh, okay. We're getting some more here from Laurel. Curtis via Laurel on Hertl. I didn't see what happened. I went out on a shift. I think I changed for him. I went out there and came back, and he wasn't on the bench.
Yeah.
So there you go. And then via Kurz Apparently, this is the only injury update we're getting tonight regarding Hertl. DeBoer was mum, and Hertl was unavailable because he was getting treatment. So this is all the stuff that we said earlier.
Yeah,
We're not going to hear anything until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope that he's fine, and we'll see what happens if he's, I'm not a doctor,
and I don't play.
Neither's Logan Couture.
Yes. Sleepy ask a breakdown of Kane Shorty. Awesome analysis. Again, go ahead.
Kane Shorty.
That was all on Couture though, right?
Yeah, like Logan Couture makes that play. He puts a pretty saucer pass on Kane's stick, and Kane got enough of it to cash in the goal. To really, I think it was a really nice pass considering how choppy the ice was at that point. Kane gets any less of his stick on it, and that's going to bounce right over his stick or under his stick, and off it goes into the corner. It was a really, really nice goal.
Nice. Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk at least a little bit about it, so let's go. All right, the absolute shit show that was the Barracuda game last night.
Oh, no.
We're talking a 4-3 game. Suomela with 2 goals in this one, and you're thinking, hey, maybe we can get a hat trick. Something can go on in this one. And then, dude, the wheels just came up. Now playing for Josef Kornash. Swiss cheese in the third. I mean, everything was getting by this guy. And then, for those of you who are aware, Trevor Carrick, a Shark, playing with the CUDA right now. But his older brother, Sam Carrick, plays for the goals and had a hat trick, finishing the coup de grace on the power play. Were you able to watch most of this or any of this game last night?
No, I
missed nothing.
I saw highlights.
No, you didn't.
Cornish, yeah, okay, I saw lowlights. Cornish had a couple games like this last year too, where he'd look really good for a stretch and then just get destroyed in a period.
And he had 2 shutouts in his first 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, and this is kind of, this is why I was really, when things were going bad, I was really resistant to the idea of this guy needs to be called up right now. And, this, I've never, I think he's definitely coming along. Obviously this game aside, and obviously this game, letting in that many goals is obviously going to do wonderful things for your stats. But I mean, this is why I didn't want him called up, because he's not ready.
Look at Sleepy here. There goes my wish for Kornash to be the next Sharks goal.
I think that's that's still gonna happen. I just don't think it's that close, right? No. It's just he's not there yet, and that's why I was really, really even though things were as terrible as they were. This is why I was, very adamantly against calling Kornash up, because he still needs to. Look, this is his first full season as a starter, and even he's still sharing more time than I thought that he would be sharing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with them. So far, they are winless in the month of November. Hopefully, they can get that turned around, and that will start at Stockton this Saturday. So, no, is that correct? Yeah. This Saturday, and then hosting on Sunday Tucson. And remember, that is 4:08 night or day, depending on your time. Barracuda versus Tucson, and this is the game where it's 4:08, and there's going to be a lot of waffle eating during one of the intermissions between Joey Chestnut and I don't know the other cat's name. Something Stoney, Mark Stoney, Mario Stoney, something. Either way, there's going to be a ton of waffles eaten, and if you go to the game, you can watch that. You'll get a shirt, you'll get a jersey for 4:08 night, and hopefully you'll see their first victory in the month of November, because right now it's looking pretty tight. They've fallen to the bottom of their division, and they are facing Stockton, who are at the top. So
I love the AHL further, just the plethora of theme nights, and just the funny, the NHL, you get a cool practice sweater. Not these guys, man. These guys game sweaters, fancy dancy, silly, whatever. I love the AHL for this.
One timer correcting me, Matt Stoney. So thank you.
There you go.
Dude, our buddy Felix Chow, who does have a couple really cool articles up on tealtownusa.com. Go check those out. He's asking, this is looking a bit far ahead, but is there any concern with the progress of the Sharks prospects for next season, especially keeping in mind Chmelevski and Checo?
Kevin question. No, I'm not concerned yet. I mean, these guys are their first pro year. There's going to be adjustments to be made. I don't think. Look, like we're spoiled because we've had so many late round picks just like turn out and be really good really quick, right? Like you still got to remember, like these guys were like 5th and 6th round picks. Like I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like I really there's a lot of things in those players toolkits that I really like. It's just adjusting to the pro game, and that can sometimes take time. Like it's hard because like these are probably the two better like ceiling wise prospects we have in the system. So I think the expectations are probably a little bit higher than they probably should be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really an indictment of our prospect system, to be completely honest. But no, I mean, these guys, look at, I'm not worried about them yet. Let them adjust to the pro game. It's not a quick thing. I know they came in in the playoffs full of piss and vinegar and they scored some goals, and so a lot of the expectations are high. But look at Roy Sommer doesn't care how talented you are. You got to play the game his way. And if they're not doing that, then they're not going to get ice time.
Yeah.
They got to adjust. It's the pro game, man. You got to adjust. You got to, you can say what you will about Roy Sommer, but he definitely does generally a good job of getting the junior out of his players.
Yeah. Well, we're also not even mentioning Blickfeld, Bergman. So and actually Bergman, I believe, is up with the Sharks right now. But I think, when a guy deserves it, he's going to get a call up and then he'll be sent right back down. We'll see how much longer Gregor remains with the team. So that's that. JF Turner asking, when should the Sharks re-sign Shimmick to an extension?
No rush. Whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever his deals, what. I mean, I'd probably do it soon, somewhat sooner than later. But if he has like a real down spell, that might be a good time to negotiate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think you want to go. Oh, so I come back and we win all games. I want big money now. Yeah, I don't. No rush. And again, you don't know what's going to happen. There's also the Brendan Dillon situation that you're going to have to face with Thornton and Marlowe. There's a couple deals here and there. Guys you're going to keep. Anyway, yeah, for me, that's a question for a bit further out. Any updates with Merkley that you've heard? I've heard he's done pretty well with London, but haven't heard anything lately.
Points wise is good. He's Ryan Merkley. He's he puts up points and also looks really dumb in his own zone sometimes. He's definitely putting up points with the London Knights. But he's probably done some things that has also given his coach a few fits.
Yeah. From Kevin Kurz, Hertl did walk to the team bus without crutches, although he did have a limp, from what I've been told. So, secondhand information, who knows how severe the limp was. It all comes down to, we'll get more information tomorrow, and if he doesn't play Saturday, then it's time to start being concerned. And a really good question for me, when can we send Prout back to the CUDA?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that it's like, dude, I don't know who your Uber and or Lyft driver was to get you from San Diego up to Anaheim, but you might want to see if he'll take you all the way to Stockton. Just saying.
Yeah, like what? I mean, Peter DeBoer is going to keep him around. I don't know. They're going to carry like 17
the heavy team
defensemen.
excuse. Are we playing another heavy team soon? I wouldn't consider Detroit heavy.
No.
You beat Edmonton without him. So I would say expect Prout back against Vegas and expect Ryan Reeves to probably pummel the crap out of him.
It depends. It really depends on when Ferraro is 100%, right? Because we haven't got to the point yet where a healthy Ferraro is, at least as far as we know, a healthy Ferraro isn't getting sat for Prout. But I feel like once Ferraro is in, they're going to have to move somebody, and Prout's probably the guy that gets sent back down.
You would hope. You would hope.
You would
but
hope. It could be Heat. Could be Tim Heat.
Yeah. And I almost want it to be Heat just so the poor guy gets some time. You know, I don't understand.
Sure. Or claimed on waivers or whatever. Like, just do something.
That poor guy. I feel bad for that guy. But it wouldn't surprise me if Prout plays against Vegas just to.
No, not at all.
Yeah, just to so Kane can chirp at him, and then Prout can go in and say, "No, mash my face. Don't mess with Kane." So
we can't afford Kane getting suspended again.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I think we can wrap this up in a nice, tidy little bow. Once again, as well, do us a favor. All the social media channels are out there for you at your disposal. So please follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up on Reddit and Facebook. And as always, hit the subscribe button on YouTube with the notification bell and give us a thumbs up. Certainly appreciate it. And any comments you want to leave below, by all means do. We try to interact with you guys as much as possible. And once again, new interview should be dropping tomorrow. If you are interested in what is going on with Google, BART, VTA, all the changes that are expected to happen with downtown San Jose that could have a potential impact on SAP Center and your ability to get to SAP Center. Yeah. So that should be dropping. The interview with Sharks co-president John Totora should be dropping tomorrow. And also of note, we're trying to make schedules happen correctly. If possible, you could be hearing a episode number 4 of In the Reef, hopefully with both Kevin Lacey and Nick Nolenberger. And if things work out really well, without me. So we'll let Kevin and Nick bandy it about. So with that, we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you very much for watching. So as we say it, long and hard and only for Eric Curra's benefit. Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Thanks for watching. We will see you all after Detroit.